Hello, geometry folks. 9.5 talking about figuring out the volumes of pyramids and cones. Pyramid, remember, just looks like this, or some variation of it. Cone just looks like this. So basically we're talking about the volume, so you're talking about the space inside. You're not talking about surface area anymore. You're talking about, if I was going to fill something like this with water, how much water could it hold? So figuring out the volume of a pyramid, it's not too different than figuring out the volume of a prism, except, a pyramid's going to hold less than a prism. So like these two have the same area base and the same height. This is going to hold a lot more than this will. So kind of the way it works is this. You still figure out the same thing. You still take the area of the base times the height. And then what you do is you divide by 3. All right, so it ends up holding 1/3 as much as a prism with the same dimensions. Okay, so you're going to take the area of the base times the height, but then you're going to divide it by 3. So if I take a look here, this is a rectangular base. It's got a height of 9. Notice it's not the slant height. You're talking about the actual height of the thing, not slant height. So make sure you note that. Slant height is for surface area. You need the regular height for the volume. So volume equals 1/3 times the base times the height. Area of the base, it's a rectangle, so you take 9.5 times 8 times 9 divided by 3. So 9.5 times 8 times 9 divided by 3. So I get 228 centimeters cubed. Make sure you're labeling correctly. Make sure you put that 3 there. Number 2, easier, because they actually give you that this is already 22 centimeters squared. So you're going to take 1/3 times 22 times 5. Okay, again, using this thing here. So 22 times 5 divided by 3. And I get 36.67 centimeters cubed. So here we have a triangular pyramid. So that you've got 6, 15. So 15. So area of this, 6 times 15 divided by 2. So that's going to be 45 feet squared. Now this is just the area of the base. To figure out the volume, I want to take 1/3 times 45 times 14. So when I do that, I get that to be 210 feet squared. So big picture, big punchline. Figure out the volume and then just divide it by 3. So Brooke is buying a tent that is in the shape of a rectangular pyramid. The base is 6 feet by 8 feet. The tent holds 88 cubic feet of air. So there's your volume right there. It's going to hold 88 cubic feet of air. How tall is this center pole? So you've got 6 by 8. You've got this tent here. And inside holds 88. So you've got to figure out how tall is the tent stake right there. Okay, so volume equals 1/3 times base times height. So they're giving you the volume though. So they give you the volume is 88. You know the 1/3. You know the base is going to be 6 times 8. So that's going to be 48 times the height. Now a couple different ways you can do this. I would like to put together 48 and 1/3. 48 can be divided by 3, so I'm going to get 88 equals 16 times h. So then it's an algebra problem. Divide by 16, and you're going to get 5.5. So that tent stake is 5.5 feet high. So how does it change for volume of a cone? The answer is not very much. I mean, it's still kind of the same idea, 1/3 base times height, except in a cone, you know how to figure out the area of the base because the base is always going to be a circle. So the only real change is now instead of writing base, I automatically write pi r squared times height because that's how you figure out the area of a circle. So that's what the base of every cone is. It's a circle by definition, so that's all I write. So, this kind of idea. So here, 3.2, height of 5.8, so it's going to be 1/3 times 3.2 squared pi times 5.8. So 3.2 squared times pi times 5.8 divided by 3, you get approximately 62.1952 meters cubed. Now, I multiplied it by pi. Remember, this is the rounded. You know, if they want exact, then you've got to have a pi in there somewhere. All right, so if I look at number 6, radius of 8, height of 15. So 1/3 times 8 squared pi times 15. All right, so that's going to be, so if I multiply all that together, and I would get 320 pi, and multiply pi by last. So that would be 320 pi centimeters cubed. All right, remember, this would be exact. And then multiply it by pi to get the rounded. Okay, so that's going to be approximately 1,005.31 centimeters cubed. So here, tricky. We got to use some stuff we've known from before. So this is going to be 58. This is going to be 11. We got to figure out this thing. Oh, if only there was a way to do right triangle stuff. Oh, wait, there is. It's called trigonometry. Yeah, that old gem's coming back. So 58, that's opposite. This is adjacent. So that's going to be, I want tangent for that one. Remember, toha. So I want the tangent of 58, and that's going to be equal to 11 over x. And then, depending on how good your memory is, these two switch places. So 11 divided by the tangent of 58, I get to be 6.87356. All right, so that's my radius. So now, coming back and figuring out the volume of this, 1/3 base times height. So, except I know it's going to be pi r squared. So I'm going to take this and automatically just square it right away. Okay, and multiply it by 11. And then divide it by 3. So right now this is 173.235 pi inches cubed. So a big ugly mess. Imagine what it's going to be like when I multiply it by pi. So I take 173.235 times pi, and I get 544.234 inches cubed. So that is your volume rounded. There it is, exact. Good review of trig over here. So remembering how to do that. Now here's another throwback. 30, 60, 90 triangle. 30 is the short side, so that's 5. That makes this a 60, and that makes this a 90. So I really want to know what that is. 30, 60, 90 always follows x squared root of 3, 2x. Short side is 5. To get the middle side, I got to take 5 square root of 3. So I want 5 square root of 3 here. So the radius is going to be 5 square root of 3. All right, now why did I leave it like that? Well, I left it like that because when I go to figure out my volume here, watch what's going to happen. Pi r squared times the height. Well, 1/3 pi 5 square root of 3 squared times 5. Well, 5 times the square root of 3, then I'm going to square that whole thing, is going to give me 75. So that's 1/3 pi 75 times 5. So that's going to give me 125 pi centimeters cubed. Then I multiply that by pi, and I get approximately 392.69, or 7 centimeters cubed. Okay, that's all I've got. Slow down, back up, rewrite things, pause things as you need. Take a look at this, kind of get around this idea that basically I'm taking the volume of what I had before and just dividing it by 3. That's all I'm doing. All right, so if you have any questions, come talk to me, and good luck.